Hey, Joey T and the Snob. I haven't done an episode in a while, and I thought it would be time to start one for the fall. It's back to school, and not that back to school means anything in wine, because hopefully you're always enjoying good wine. Today, I'd like to talk about what's on a label, and I'm going to concentrate specifically on California or U.S. Wines, because when you get into labels in other countries, there's other requirements, and it's somewhat confusing. So maybe if the Snob comes here, he can share his thoughts on, let's say, a French wine, because those are really confusing. What I'd like to show you, though, today is I have two bottles, and there are requirements that the government puts upon producers. So the first requirement is, who is the producer? And in this case, this is St. Superi. This is Ponzi Vineyards. They both are shown or displayed prominently on their label. Why not? They want to market their wines. Next is the vintage, or the year. In this case, this is 2003. This one's 2013. It says at the very, very bottom. Sometimes you may see a non-vintage or NV. All that would mean is that the producer pulled the grapes from various places and potentially various years. So could mean lower quality wine. So just kind of have a heads up on that. Also, the year, what that means is not when it went into the bottle, but when the grapes were picked or harvested. So that's what the year would signify. The next would be the varietal. That's required. And this one, like I said, is a Cabernet. This is a Pinot Gris, or Grigio, some people would say. The next bit of information is where the wine came from. In this case, this is Napa Valley, and in some cases they will even break it down further. So at the bottom it'll say Rutherford, but Napa Valley, it would just signify which area of California or in the U.S. Here is the Willamette Valley, so just another area of the U.S. So the other requirement would be the alcohol content, and sometimes you have to search for that. On the St. Superi bottle, it's at the bottom. Sometimes they're on the side. On this Ponzi, it's actually on the side, as I mentioned. It's going across the side here. So lower alcohol volume type wines is what I prefer. If you have the higher volume, and the Snob may say, you're drinking a very fruit forward or a fruit bomb. The lower alcohol wines have a different type of a taste, and I think some are acquired taste. So that is it. Those are required. The last item, or there's two actually, requirements that the government puts upon wineries, and it's usually on the back. It's the government warning. It's your typical, according to the Surgeon General, women should not drink alcohol, blah, 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 blah. That's, while pregnant. That is a requirement. The last item would be if it contains sulfites, and it'll say at the bottom, contains sulfites. You'll see the same. On this case, it's on the back, and it has all the government warnings. And it does say contains sulfites on this one too. If you remember from a prior episode, we talked about sulfites and headaches and that. All grapes have sulfites in there in some fashion. When you may see, and these wines don't have it, may say reserve, and all that means is that the winery has labeled their bottle as reserve because they pick their grapes, maybe the finest of their grapes, or the finest of their wine, and they usually have different levels. So that would be their reserve. That doesn't mean that it's a very good wine. You could be a low end quality type producer, and it's just their highest level of the lowest quality wines. So, so don't let that throw you off when you are choosing your wines. Like I said, when you get to look at the California, or I should say the French wines, the Italian wines, even German wines, they have a little bit different items and requirements, and we'll talk about that. But that kind of gives you a breakdown of what you're looking at in a wine, and once you get to understand who the producers are and which ones you prefer, you look for them, and then you search out their different levels of wine. So hopefully this was informative to you. I had fun sharing. If you like what you heard and saw, hit that like button. If you have things you want to hear from Joey T and the Snob, well, send me a note or at joey__t@hotmail.com. And hope you're having a good day, and we'll be coming back at you sooner than later. Take care.